Kom, vang je zitplek daar, die camera is klaar aan. Kat, pas op, hond, pas op kat. Hond die kat, move. Kom, pakkel, move alsjeblieft. Hond die kat, move. Kom, pakkel bijna, move. Af, kom, weg, of we gaan sit daar so, tenminste daar so, cool. Kom, ek gaan hier balanceer kom. Anders gaan ze interview in jou absence doen. Dit gaan weer.
Pyjamas geen maar en ek het kan ek myself net ordentlik maak as jy nou insist.
Ek weet insist, like as ek confused is. Ek wil daai.
Ek het gesê ek mag sê nee.
Okay. Jy mag sê nee, dan gaan ek weer dit aan sonder jou. Maar hulle het gesê doen 'n meet a team, so kom ons doen 'n meet a team. Niet te ver gaan liggen, dan moet in die video wees. Gaan sit daar. Kom jong, ek wag vir jou. Okay, ek het my interview board uit en ek gaan 'n interview begin sonder jou. En ons gaan vir jou antwoorde insit.
Bra, ek het gesê ek kom. Gee my net 'n oomblik.
Boring. Hulle gaan dit definitief kan hoor. Dude, ek beloof jou, ek gaan hier insit op die video. 7 minutes later. Wat? Dude, kom asseblief.
Jy het nie tyd gemaak nie, gee my 'n oomblik.
Van wanneer af doen jy afsprake om my te sien?
Of interview podcast as nie op my kalender vir vandag nie.
Ek het vir jou gesê die gaan kom. Ten minste 3 maande terug. Nou as ek vraag, should we speak English or Afrikaans? I think English for broader audience and of course our English mates who have not yet quite mastered the Afrikaans language or don't want to master the Afrikaans language. Yeah, English. Okay, so we're going to just start without you then. We want to welcome you here today to meet the team of PIKININI and VANLIFE. It has come to our attention that it is a bit disjointed in terms of who's who in the zoo. Over here we have Namari. She was the one who could not speak at first. I am Jean. The white cat you've been seeing is Mont, named so as he was raised by the dogs in the absence of his siblings. There are also a few other pets around the house, which we'll introduce as we go along the interview. But first, let's get to Namari's first question. Namari, go on! Oh yes. It's winter. Sparkles. Giving Lali a warning. Come Lala. And Maria, she's having a rest, eh? Had 2 solid days on the beach of training. Come Winter, let's go see what Namri is doing. Namri, you're late for your podcast.
Ek was nie tyd gegee of geboek of genotify nie.
Good luck YouTube typing subtitles person trying to type that out. It's bad, eh? Yes, see. So, the first question on the list is 25,000 kilometers in 1 year, your first year on the road. Let me just turn that water down again. Would you do it again, yes or no?
Yes,
Why?
because it's fun.
Really? Can you give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 examples? Second question on the list is favorite destinations in SA and not favorite destinations in SA.
Wilderness, where we know backpackers. Favorite.
That's in the wilderness.
Ja, ek het gesê
Eastern Cape. Wilderness, Eastern Cape.
Garden route, Western Cape.
Western route. Just before you get to George. Thank you. Worst place to visit in SA so far?
Shoo. Dis of Kimberley of Gauteng.
Why?
Ja, sien wel, Kimberley was baie plat.
we could not even push start our vehicles.
We had a problem with one of the vehicles that struggled to start, and you couldn't push start it because there was no hills.
Yeah, you'd think pushing on flat ground would be easier, but it's not. Especially with 2 vehicles, and you have animals jumping out of all kinds of windows. At that stage, they weren't all as settled as they are now.
Actually, Kimberley wasn't so bad. It was interesting, just very dusty, very dry, very dirty, very flat. Gauteng wasn't bad either.
That being said, I am in unison with you, the city. I would not put that against the festival. We went to the Yonder Hearts Festival, superbly well organized, very well allocated, clean, secure, super wonderful, and the biggest by far merry-go-rounds entertainment area of all the festivals we've attended in the whole year, of which there are many, and we'll discuss them as we go. They really put on a show. Also, interesting fact, I had not known that Kimberley had grown to 1.5 million population. That is a big place.
So, yeah, not really fierce nie. Nothing bad about the festival. The festival is lovely.
Yeah.
I just didn't quite enjoy how dirty my clothes got from the wind and the dust and the heat.
Gauteng, what is the problem with Gauteng?
Well, it's a city and it's Gauteng. Joburg.
Okay, so yeah, just Joburg's very busy, very fast.
It's just
Super
I
noisy.
didn't really work there. I didn't have a festival. I didn't have
And
anything to do.
here's
and
the-
you left me
here's
there
the
with some very
important-
strange people.
Who are probably watching this right now.
Yo, I was
Laughing as well.
I was thrown into the middle of a drama there. No warning. Stay here with these lovely people. Daar's 100 die duivel rond. Dis kyk wat hier aangaan. My nose, kom
Did
jy
I,
bietjie hierso.
or did I not sort it out?
You did.
Was there or was there not a point to it?
Yes.
You see, patience is a virtue.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we were close to murder. Okay, but the most important question for Johannesburg, in my opinion, one of the biggest reasons why I left it, you can do everything there except for you can do nothing when you have downtime.
Yeah, so point number one, I was there without you. You were working. So I didn't do festivals or markets really. Nothing fun, no big show, nothing interesting. And I was stuck there without my daughter, without you, without any work. I didn't have much money, couldn't do anything. And then I had to listen to other people's cuck and drama all day. So
Kak means shit. For the English guys, the really English oaks.
Can we move out of this space?
I'm trying to get you there. Come on. Yeah, so, but I'm asking you specifically because there's Lolly, Maria, Winter, Sparkles, and Hond. Hondy cat. That's the other part of the crew. We did have an unfortunate event last year where we lost some of our fellow travelers, some to age, gypsy, and some to an awful accident, Duchess and Tommy. Very sad, such is life. So love hard while you can, even if it's your pet, especially if it's your pet. You can call your partner your pet. Ja, cool. Ek het nie so gedink oor in die begin nie. Miskien we're gonna find out. Kom sit. Let's have a go. So, okay, so the most important thing I was trying to raise was
so wait, I wasn't done.
Gauteng.
Yeah, okay, go.
About there not being anything really to do. That you can kind of, I called it walking out your gate and going to do something. I'm going for a walk to do something.
Yeah, there's no beach, so if you want to go do something, you have to pay.
Yeah.
Or sit at home. Yeah, here there's a beach. You don't have to pay. You
Not
just go to the beach.
Not only that, beach, more space, mountainous areas. That's why I also dislike Gauteng. Otherwise, there's tons going on there. And it's a busy place. It can be a dangerous place, of course. But still, any place is safe or dangerous, you've seen now. Any place is safe or dangerous, depending on how awake and aware you are. In every city and town, at times you feel a bit whoopsie, and then suddenly you get in the right area, or you use your brain and your eyes, and suddenly you're fine. And all over the country, there is place to move and be safe and be fine and see things and do things.
Yeah, there you just have to lock your doors, have alarms. It's just a little bit more intense. And you get people parking outside your house, stalking you. That happened.
Okay, cool. All right. Lovely. Sounds like that's a fun alley to go down eventually.
But actually, it wasn't bad because it was nice.
Johannesburg is very fast-paced, and that fast-paced demands security, because in fast-paced, it goes well and it goes bad fast.
I understand. I'm just saying I didn't have really any work to do there, festivals, anything that stood out as fun. I was just sitting there waiting, killing time, and thrown into a bit of drama there. So it wasn't like a super fun memory on the road. It's not something that stands out, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
No.
What I'm trying to say is, if you want an answer for a location that I don't particularly enjoy, maybe the better answer is George.
Why? I see. I know. There's a few pluses and minuses with George, even on a national level, not only a personal level. So why don't you expand on that?
Well, there's lots of straight lines. They plant their trees in straight lines. They plant their roses in straight lines. They cut their bushes in straight lines.
That is not a straight line.
That's a square.
That's a circle. It's also not a square.
No, they cut their bushes in squares.
I understand, but you
Perfect
can't say circles or lines or squares if you're making a triangle.
But they cut it in straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line,
It's
which
a square.
forms a square.
But you said
But
straight lines.
nature doesn't have squares.
Listen, there's no circle on a line or no line on a circle. A circle is a bent line.
Okay, the beauty about nature is that it's nature and that it's not perfect. Okay? And they try to make everything perfect. It's a little bit too perfect. You feel out of place. You feel like you can't fart or blink or burp or anything.
No. When I drive into George, I always joke. I say I feel like I'm about to wrinkle the place.
Yeah.
but it's just an extreme of something. It's clean. It's well kept. It's a weird thing to experience driving from like Gauteng, Johannesburg, Alberton to Koza, down the coastline, and then you hit this pristine area. George is in really good shape.
Yes, but it's just a little bit too perfect. It doesn't have like a homey feel because you feel so much pressure to fit into this neat line, straight place. And the thing is, we normally go there coming from like Knysna Wilderness, where everything is more wild, like the wilderness.
A bit more,
and
even relaxed. I would say even relaxed.
Yeah, and a bit more hippie-ish and chilled. And
so my instinctive thing was to say, no, you're making this personal because of something way back.
But you're asking me.
I know, but also,
So
I want to add also in the behavior of some of the people we've worked with in George. So total strangers. It's also been the same conflict. Very resistant to say our style of life. Where we were on the move and
we're
moving.
a little bit more off the beaten track. He not always maybe brushed or whatever. We are more relaxed, more chilled. We're from J-Way. We surfers. We love our animals, and they love animals there too. But they got to be on leashes, and we get into a lot of trouble if our animals aren't on leashes.
Absolutely. So George is a beautiful place. I will agree with you though. You do constantly feel like you might be in trouble quickly.
Yeah, you have to fit into all their rules and regulations. Otherwise, they frown upon you, and they make things difficult. And like Sparkles kept jumping out there. So
you would say, yeah, but your cat was a loco. So you would say then, Kimberly, for the roughness of the terrain and the dust, not so much the festival, but also the city was dirty. I get that. And you changed Gauteng to location of George. Okay, cool. Best places so far?
I did say Wilderness.
Wilderness Ferry, no.
Ferry, no, Backpackers is a favorite.
So that's physically a location, a place.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's the complete contrast between George and Wilderness.
And they're only a pass apart.
You drive 5 minutes and you're in the other one, and it's such a contrast because in Wilderness they let things grow, everything's wild, but everything's beautiful. It's not like it's unkempt, it's not like it's unsafe, but they work with nature there, not against their nature. They don't cut it all into squares and plant in straight lines.
We even noticed how the houses and buildings seem to be in little nooks of nature.
Yeah, like they
sort of really
with it, and it's so cute and so beautiful and just more natural, more relaxed. It's gorgeous there, and George is just a little bit more too like.
And the point is this: it's actually a very very high end, top end market, Wilderness sort of in terms of property and real estate. So it's initially might be tricky getting in there. It sounds going there, thinking where am I going to stay? What am I going to do? Am I sure? Just straight to Ferry, no backpackers. Look there, ask for Wes. He's the main Canaan there,
And you can camp there or park there or
camp,
chalet.
bed, single bed, chalets, shared rooms, dorms, warm showers, clean, luxurious, really well done.
Because we have our vans, we don't need to pay for chalets, and they let us park there for a minimal fee. We've got everything we need, and we get to use a hot shower. There's always interesting, sometimes better, sometimes more quirky musicians that play there. They've got little chess nights and interesting bar people, and the animals can roam freely and they make friends with the other animals on the property.
Nice fireplaces.
It's just a way more relaxed vibe. Everyone's welcome. Us and our animals, come as you are. You don't need to fit into straight lines or tidy clothes or button up your shirt. But there are also those people there. The one time we were there were a whole bunch of Cape Townians shooting some Lani movie, and they were a little bit more neat and tidy, but still everyone was chilled and happy together. Like, you don't have to be this way or this way. You can just come and chill there and no one bothers you.
Cool.
And it's a beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful.
So I have over time, as I've moved around for work and other things and travels, I've built up a few different places where I could stay very easily, fast, conveniently, affordable. Not want to say low cost or cheap, affordable, neat and tidy, safe. Sometimes with or without bikes, sometimes with or without animals, but now with another person and sometimes more animals on the road. It's been very interesting to go visit a few new places and put in a few new markers on the map around SA, where to find a mixture of safe and clean, all things provided, or bring your own shit kind of vibe, and chilled, good people just making a safe spot for you to stay overnight or a month if you like, without ripping your wallet in half. And
you could stay a day, you could stay
a variety of people. So we have places like that all over the country. I've mentioned some of them in our first 1 or 2 vlogs on the road. We're currently enjoying a rest period in J-Bay. What's it like being stationary again?
It's a little bit frustrating. It's not my favorite thing.
Less than a year ago, she did not even know about living on the road. Now, living in a house is her least favorite thing. It's wonderful. That's what it is. If you have a bit of perspective and a bit of ATO, a little bit of keep your calm, keep your cool, you suddenly realize every obstacle is an adventure, right or wrong? Mm-hmm. And if you're in the right mindset to be positive, and if you're in between people like that, so the garden route in South Africa is actually littered with people still full of dreams and imagination, and working together and figuring it out together, and building it and fixing it and cleaning it, even though they didn't stuff it up. I'm still doing well, no F word, eh? And it's not like it is in the colder parts of the colder cities. It's the truth. Moving around SA is not so bad, and you can do it.
It's beautiful.
Use your common sense. I'd like to expand on some of the locations another time, but I was just going to go down the list that we did here today. So the first year, how that kind of was for you. Here's a nice one. Why are you on the road? Because I went on the road just literally moving around with some family at first. Then I went on a random bike ride because I was angry with my dad. And that bike ride turned into what's been about now, depending on how you scale it, 8 to 12 years on the road. So, and loving all of it. Just every day is an adventure, and just got to keep calm and keep cool, eh? And have had great opportunities along the way, and blessed and thankful from above. Why are you on the road now, Marie?
Well, I was given an opportunity to sell baby and children's clothes by you.
That is, by the way, Pikinini, South Africa.
At markets and festivals, and it started in Jeffreys Bay, to just do the local markets, to dip our toes in and see how it goes and what the concept is all about. And it grew from there, and you gave me the opportunity and said, this is possible, you can take it on the road and go to other markets and festivals. And I was intrigued, and it sounded like a good idea, because J-Bay is a bit small. It gets a bit boring doing the same markets and festivals all the time, when you know there's a big beautiful country out there. And if you're lucky enough not to sit in an office and have to be in the same place every day, and you have something that you can go and sell at other places, why not? It's gorgeous. You work and drive and work and drive and work and drive. So as you do a market or festival, you work, you get money, and that pays your petrol and pays your food, and then you get to the next place and you work, and you can just keep going like that. And it's so simple and so much fun, and you see beautiful things. You get to just
people think it's a sacrifice. It's not at all. It really is not. You have to
it's not. I think
simplify and get going. Once you simplify and get going,
I think it's not if it's your thing. Like, it's not for everybody.
No, sure, of course.
Some people love their homes and love doing their little thing that they've created for themselves. And great if you've managed to be successful at that. But for us, particularly for me, in Jeffreys Bay, it's difficult to find work and stay stationary and be okay, especially if you have a daughter and you're going through a few things that need extra finances. And that just made sense because you save a lot, you don't pay rent, and you can work and travel and see beautiful things, and you can build up money. And it's about what your interests are. If that's not your interest, you're going to hate it because you're going to moan about everything. You're going to moan if you can't find a hot shower. You're going to moan if it takes an hour longer to get somewhere than you had planned because a wheel breaks down or whatever. But if that's your thing, if you love adventure and new sights and new people and seeing beautiful things and surfing in places where I couldn't surf, my knee was stuffed. But that was the plan, was to just climb and hike and surf in between
working.
Yes. And you don't get that luxury. No one, I don't know anyone else personally that does that, and that's a blessing in my eyes. If you can do that, why not? Why would you sit in the same house in the same four walls and live your life like that if you can see and meet and be in so many different places? You get a much wider perspective. You grow smarter. You learn how to interact with people better. Your brand gets more exposure because you take your brand to people instead of trying to sit at home, online advertising, trying to get them to come to you. And especially with what I'm doing, people are skeptic. They buy things like that if they see it. They won't necessarily buy something online if they're not sure if it's a scam or they haven't seen it in person, and my things look better when you see it. Then it's like a done sale because it's gorgeous. But you have to see it, and you have to meet me to know that I'm not scamming you on the internet.
Sure. It's almost like, and then also not doing anything, any drive, mission, journey, work, challenge. You can't. It kind of. Do you think? Let me rather ask you. See what you think, and I'll say what I think after. If you had no task ahead, would it affect the journey and the travel? So if you could not work at all and just travel and do whatever you want all over the country, would it be the same? Would you be having the same adventure? Would it still be an adventure?
I think it would, but maybe it would lack depth, because maybe you wouldn't have anything that kept you in line that you had to wake up for. If you didn't work and travel, if you just traveled, then maybe you would squander more, waste more, do absolutely nothing, just surf and eat, and it would, I think the best way to describe it is it would lack depth, and you wouldn't really grow as a person because there's not as many challenges. Whereas if you have to integrate work and pleasure and travel, it's more of a challenge, but it's more rewarding.
I felt the same. So I think your answer of depth is perfect, because in the previous times I've done this in different contexts, on different movements. If you do it on your own and you isolate further, and if you engage with people like working, it adds to you getting to know the area, the people, expanding your network, your circle of chat, or learning, or influence, or learning, whatever. So depth is a really good word for that. If you're just moving by yourself, you have nothing to keep you very well in line to see the depth of every place, every person, people not from here but also here, so on and so forth, and how different people do different business models, even within the same business model. Some, market to markets, then festival, then something, whatever else.
Yeah, everywhere is different. Everyone organizes it differently. Everyone approaches it differently. The vibe is different. The people that attend are different. It's strange that you can do the same type of work, but in every location it differs so much because it's all about the people. The location influences the people who run it, the people who attend, what the interests are of that area, because you'll do either well or not depending on what those people like or don't like and how they are and what their personalities are. It's very interesting to witness and observe and be a part of.
Yeah, and then you kind of, in the old, you vibrate against them, they vibrate against you, and you learning and growing all the way, lovely, all new skills, even new languages, different ways of doing things, and growing. Cool. Best and worst place to be, we've covered that. How do you survive? What's your work? We've discussed Pikinini. Here's a question I've been asked a few times. How do you pack a house?
How do you pack a house?
Yeah.
With a lot of effort. Sometimes neatly, sometimes if you don't have much time, a little bit more chaotically. So our approach was sell what's unnecessary, only take what can fit. If it's really sentimental, try and keep it. Otherwise, just sell, so we are more comfortable. And you keep your sentimental, most precious things, and you have your clothes and all your necessities, and we had everything we needed. So you let go of the big furniture, the big bulky items like fridges and washing machines and things.
Scale down.
But if you have gas, you can cook. You can make yourself coffee, you can cook anything you want, and if you've got your clothes, you're fine.
To be on the road and moving, you don't need anything more than one pot, one kettle, and a little gas thingy.
Yeah, you need gas, because with a gas kettle or with a pot, you can make yourself coffee every day, a few times a day, and you can cook all your meals. That's all you need. You're not dependent on electricity, on Eskom. Funny, when we lived here, before we left, we both had the load shedding apps on our phone, and when we left, we could delete them because we were never in one place for long enough for the load shedding to affect us. And even if we did, wherever we stayed, we were camping because we used everything from our van. So we had a food crate, and you have your tins of food and soup packets and spices and everything, and wherever you are, you buy some SA.MEET or braai vleis, or at a market you buy fresh veggies, and you can cook a lekker pot of food or braai.
For anyone that might be watching this, if it says lekker, means like nice. It means good or well. It can be used to describe anything.
You can cook whatever meal you want or braai on fire or on gas, and you don't have to spend lots of money on fancy accommodation and eating out and fancy food. That you can live very simply with very little. You don't need a lot of space, you don't need a lot of money. It simplifies your life.
You know when we got back, so I always wrote
So the thing with the load shedding was it never affected us, because if you had a lighter and a gas bottle, you could do whatever the hell you wanted.
And the Jean who knew where to get wood and paper and dynamite. You also need a Jean. You need a Jean on the road with you. Okay, whether you're the Jean or she's the Jean or he's the Jean or whatever they call themselves, are the Jeans. You need a Jean, but you also need an Elmery. You need a planner and you need a doer.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't just do. If you just
you need someone that knows how all the nuts and ratchets and cable ties work and the engines work. And how to make fire, but then you need someone that can clean and plan and cook and do payments and keep admin and plan festivals and keep the calendar going.
Make sure we wake up.
Yeah, set the alarms.
Sounds terrible. Not that I'm lazy.
Set the alarms that annoy him to death. Same fight every morning. Oh, I hate that alarm. But it gets us to work on time.
100%. No. 100%.
But the point is, then you get back here, and all of a sudden you're in a house and you've got a kettle and a stove that works with electricity, and all of a sudden the power goes off, and all of a sudden you feel like, oh my word, I can't do anything. And you forget how easy it is that you actually could. You're just in a different space that's more dependent on electricity, and now every time you forget to check the damn load shedding app and it frustrates and annoys you, but you can do it without it. We didn't even need it then, and now we need it again because, when can we use the stove?
It's amazing, Just simple it down and just look. Just simple it down, one step at a time if you can't do the whole jump at once. And just see how it goes. If you've never camped before, then simple it down first. If you've camped before, if you can camp, you can live in camper or live and move or whatever it's called. Van life or camp life or backpackers or move and work. Take a bit more gear with you. If you can, if you're lucky enough.
But I think the question was, how do you pack up a house?
Yeah,
and you got to be able to just do it.
Just go.
Because if you can't let go of things, if you're not ready to actually not have a house or to go on an adventure, you're not going to be able to do it because you're going to cry over everything.
So many times I've wanted to tell you this story with other things that you've asked me to help you with, or things you've tried to decide, you've described to me. I've always wanted to tell you this story, and I don't know if I have. You've just explained it in different words. Shit, I think it was Napoleon, whoever, some famous warmongerer, they think, who the legends who sculpted the world, not the Heavenly Father, but Napoleon anyway. I think when they landed on the beach somewhere, he dropped all his soldiers off, and then he set all the boats alight behind him in the water, in the ocean. So what happens to you there? You have no choice but forward.
You're forced to make it work because you can't go back.
Take the castle, or you don't have a house or food because the boats are in the water.
Yeah.
So you've done the same. You have to. So many people ask.
You have to commit and do it because if you've got a safety net to fall back on, you're not going to do it properly.
Yeah. You can do it half-assed and give up fast, and then you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
Even if you're fortunate enough to be financially wealthy, because there's different ways to be wealthy. If you're financially wealthy, you can still do it. Put checks and balances in place before you start, and make sure someone holds you accountable to do it properly. Go find the places, go find the things to do, climb the things, go look for the hidden treasures, go look for that hidden whatever, go see the place you've never seen, go see the natural wonder, try that activity you always thought you should, maybe the bucket list shit, man. Like, get on with it, and then but keep accountable, because you're gonna miss magic if you make it too easy for yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss an amazing.
If you book in everywhere and do everything the easy way, then it's easy. Then it's not the adventure that you could have.
Yeah. Hammocks, tents, vans, campsites. Recognized and good backpackers, get hold of us who can share locations. We're going to share them anyway. It's not that difficult. Let me just get through this list. I don't want us to do the first one super crazy long, then everyone loses track of us. How do you pack a house? Anyone else in the team, don't stress. I did team introductions. Maria's just giving the ground now. She wants attention. She's very sore from 2 days of running around at the point in J-Bay. One of the best waves in the world. And we spend as much time there as possible because it's beautiful there. And Maria and the team love it there as well. So she's sore and now she's also hungry. She's asking for chow. Long story. Well done.
Yeah.
Anyone else in the team? I did that. Do you want to go through the team? We can maybe do it. Do you want to introduce the team one by one? No. I already went through them, but with the camera. I didn't say how they were.
Yeah, maybe do that another time.
Okay, we'll
said the gist of it.
Cool. We'll
us
do
and all the animals.
all the partners, who they are, where they're from. Sweet. One or two funny moments so far on your first year on the road.
Sure, I don't know. Funny. But I think some things are funny now, but were a little bit stressful in the moment. I don't know if those are what you're referring to, like cars breaking down, driving with a vehicle being held together by cable ties. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, so the combi's been rebuilt, and it's been a long time ongoing, and now finally she's rigged and solid and good and went through the test, and now finally Naomi's calm to be in a car that looks like the Germans left it after a war.
No, but we can do proper funny, which is what I think you're asking.
Yeah.
So there was at the one festival.
Which festival?
Luri Narkifees.
Luri Narkifees is on the backside of the Gamtoos River, also in the Eastern Cape, also in Jeffreys Bay area. A very nice festival. It was between farmlands and such, so nature and farmlands. Very homey and quaint. Unfortunately, the weather didn't play with. On the day it became windy and rainy, but I will say I've never seen this before. The people, instead of leaving, walked to their cars, and we were like, oh crap. And they just simply pulled their cars into massive semicircles around the music stage, and the show went on. So mense van Lurie, Gamtoos, JB, PE, where you came from, absolutely stunning, bro. Just way to keep it going. It wasn't about like just getting wrecked at some beer promotion, beer tent. It was really a nice festival. Everyone was there to have a good time, enjoy some chow food, cool beer if you like, and some artists, and some really personal acts actually happened between the artist and the crowd, which was really something to see. There are photos on my Facebook. I even got on the combi's roof and took like a no, I wouldn't say aerial photograph, but it was an aerial photograph, but I'm not a satellite, so as high as my arm goes above me, above the combi, that's how high the aerial shot was of that scenario. Hey, move your boat, bro. Hey, move your boat.
Okay, but the question was funny.
Funny, yeah, sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
So at this festival, but to give background, the way I normally interact with people, when they come and have a look around, I ask them, can I help you? Like, what size are you looking for? Because kids are different ages and different sizes. You need to buy correctly for it to actually fit them either now or later. And normally, the tannies and the omas and
Tannie
moms,
and Oma, Tannie is auntie, Oma is granny. So
the ladies and the grannies and whatever, they know how to shop for the kids because they're used to it. So normally, if for some reason there's a dad or an uncle or a grandpa by themselves for whatever reason without the
supervision,
the mom
without management,
yeah, they normally ask for assistance.
Yeah.
They will explain, boy or girl, this old, can you help, winter, summer, blah blah blah, and then I help them to get the correct item in the correct size, in the correct color, whatever. They normally need assistance. And so my first customer that day
not need assistance, they know what's going on actually, because that's not assistance, that is getting to the correct situation.
Yeah, but still they ask for help, then I help them, and then
no, I'm just getting into the middle of the story.
Okay, but so the point is, my first sale that day, lekker fris Afrikaanse boer.
Lekker fris Afrikaanse boer is a really good looking, strong, muscular, local farmer.
Okay, yeah, youngish, not old.
Yeah. What's youngish?
Like sort of your age, maybe a little bit younger even.
The pool is over there.
Say 30s, 40s. It wasn't a grandpa. It was a youngish male farmer. Came up to me with a dress in his hand and just shoved it in my face and said, "Here, I want to pay for it." And I was a little bit concerned because he hadn't asked for help and I didn't know who he was buying for and if it was the correct item in the correct size. So I asked him, "Are you sure about the size?" And he says to me, "Moenie worry," he says, "'n vet baba, dis sal oppas of sy sal in en dan groei."
Okay, let me try. And she asked him if he needed help, to which he replied, "Don't worry, she's a healthy child. She's
a fat baby.
She's a fat baby. It'll either fit or she'll grow into it."
Yeah. That was the funniest thing anyone's ever said to me. I just laughed and did the sale and didn't question his choice or size or color or item. Because he felt he knew what he was doing.
and they really are, to add also to the whole work and move or get on the move and figure it out to motivate you. There are interactions like that daily in all circumstance and place, and between work or relaxation or funning or figuring it out, you're interacting with normally with exciting, funny things daily. There's just so many moments all the time. Like to pick one is like impossible. But anyway, one of my funniest is whenever I come around a corner late on a Friday or Saturday night, past like 10, 11, after we've done a market or a festival or a band or a show, whenever you come around where there's some O's catering or some girls catering means having a party. And they like like either like high fives or wow, check the dogs, or even the older guys like they're like screaming wow, clapping hands and stuff. And at first it was because we had a lot of things on the move, but then I think later on they were just applauding us for not toppling over because we had boxes on the van and the Sprinter and inside and dogs coming out the sides and all kinds of stuff. But people are excited to give us support, show us support. A lot of questions on the road always, what are we doing, why are we doing it, how do we get it done like this, and they like our rig. I want to also do a video on the rig. We A-frame 2 vehicles together, a VW Combi, old one, 80s model, and a bigger version, Mercedes Sprinter. I'll do a boring boys or whatever video about that in another time. Almost at the end of my list. We'll see how this goes. Two more categories of questions. Again and never again. Quickly.
Oh, not the whole concept, individual things.
Yeah, again and never again. Again quickly please, and never again. I promise you I'll kill you.
Yes, see, I don't know. Again, everything, but just further and longer and slower. We've spoken about this. The last time we were quite pressed for time because we had personal matters that were not settled and we kept having to come back. The plan was actually to go slower, work, and then camp or surf or adventure or hike or climb somewhere for like a week before the next festival or market. So just to go slower and see more and to go further. We didn't even go that far. We didn't do the Western Cape. We didn't go to any other places like Namibia or Mozambique or the places you've been to that I haven't been to.
I must mention in between, I shot off to 2 different countries, to Mars and to Mozambique and to Swaziland for other work, other commitments. And she had got stuck in Johannesburg, but for reasons and for organization. So my kilometers added up a bit higher. But all in all, I would say we didn't travel not far. We didn't travel as far as we were planning to travel.
Yes,
we traveled more.
We didn't get to Cape Town, and
you must be careful. Your far and near now changes because we traveled more in 1 year than a lot of people will ever travel in their whole life around this country. And that's what I want to try to get out there. Around every corner is magic, a secret,
so
a surprise.
I'm just saying we didn't go as far as we had intended or hoped.
That's what I just said now. You can't take my words and be right. She does this shit the whole time.
Because we came back and we got stuck and delayed again and haven't been able to go.
I understand. No. Don't spaghetti
anyway.
now. Don't spaghetti the whole situation. I just said, you said we didn't drive far. We drove very far with a large rig, well planned, and we had the right people and support, and we fixed what broke. But we didn't drive as far, and that's what you said as well.
Okay, so again.
So am I right or not?
You're right.
Definitely. Oh, yes, you careful.
But again,
lowest point in house.
Again, definitely, Kirkwood Volksfeest was one of the best ones we attended.
Yeah, holy shit, that place. Give me a second. I need to. Kirkwood Volksfeest in the Eastern Cape. It sounds like all our favorite stuff is in the Eastern Cape. A lot of it is. That's why we try live here or stay as long as we can, or when we're resting or figuring it out. Me and anyway, I've been doing it all my life, and she's now been starting to do it and getting it done. Because she's originally from another part of this province. Anyway, Kirkwood is a magnificently well organized festival with everything you can think of and more. Seriously, whether you're a child, a farmer, a racing car specialist, a baker, a mom, an auntie, young, old, that thing is so well organized. You cannot believe when you arrive there how broken the town is and things around the town, South African style. And then you find this absolutely magnificent, perfect school terrain and festival organized on a scale that you haven't seen in a long time, since I think maybe like Coke Fest.
You're very, very professionally done, neatly, well organized.
Secure,
Massive.
safe, yeah, huge. They
Good
did apparently have a record year when we were there now last year, talking about 65,000 feet through the door.
Wonderful artists. It was for me the best mix of artists and shows
for everybody.
From yeah.
To name a few, Watershed.
Wonderboom, Ilandre.
Yes, Ilandre.
Dodo.
Dodo, amazing. What a performer, bro.
Bernice West.
Dodo will light any place on fire. Get that guy to your party. I'm telling you, people will come. I will come again to see him. Ilande was also spiritually amazing. I literally almost changed orientation for him.
Bonnet Worm was one of my favorites, just because I hadn't seen or heard them in such a long time, didn't even know they were still going, and they rocked it.
Killed it.
They put on a show that I haven't seen since I was a teenager and went to a rock show. They had such a stage presence. They gave it their all. It was like Queen going on that stage, going off. It was something to witness.
Now what she's feeling was how I was feeling when Puna was on. Robbie Wessels was also there in his onesie, but she was grafting.
Yeah, I was working.
She was grafting sometimes while I was out with the dogs or organising or making shady deals.
You got to see the day shows. I was working during the day, but the craft section closed at night, so I could see the shows at night.
Another benefit of work and move, little benefits along the way. Get to see awesome artists. And also, if you have children, people freak out about this. There's homeschooling. Yeah. There's getting your child involved in the business. Extra hands, free labor. It's more around you, more in an active environment, more interactions, less TV, less internet, stuff like that. It might be an adjustment at first, but lots do it, many do it, we do it.
And all the things that we book are family friendly. There are normally awesome kids entertainment. There's like clowns and face painting and jumping castles, and there's always kids play areas, so the kids love it. And it's a fun thing for them to do, to be involved. And they also like, my daughter loves seeing all the musicians in the shows. She's very into it, she loves it. And we've taught her to help out. So she packs shoes for me, she helps you feed the dogs, like she gets little tasks to fetch water or do this, and she learns to participate and help, and to not sit with a phone in her hand addicted to a screen, and which is so damaging.
She's actually enjoying a lot of it because she's asking for more of it.
Yeah, and she's actually started her own little side business, making bangles now. We got her some beads, and she sits there and she takes orders and she makes beads for people, and she's 5.
But she's going through a business efficiency phase right now. Yeah. Because I was told that she would like to scale out of the manufacturing and scale into the profit taking. She says she wants to change to selling ice cream, and so I put 2 and 2 together that if she sells ice cream, firstly you just buy the ice cream and resell it. She doesn't have to sit there and make it. I think she got a bit frustrated with how long she has to sit still and concentrate to make one bangle. And then once the bangle is made, she was doing so well, everyone loved it, it gets sold immediately. So now to make another sale, she has to sit still again and make another bangle. And so the life and drama of an artist.
She's learned at age 5 that if you rather buy something and resell it, it's way less effort than having to sit and make it yourself.
Even though the first 2 makes are fun. No, classic. No. So it's all about, even if there's awkwardness, you talk it out. That's why I say burn the ships behind you, because you almost understand and agree and then get going, and burn the ships behind you. Sure, create safety around you and as much as you can, but burn the ships behind you and get on with it. You can move around this country, you can see wonderful, beautiful things, you can make a living, you can take a child and pets with, and you can have an adventure.
There are a lot of pet-friendly places where they let you
we know them all. We'll try and do more reviews on them. We've mentioned them as we've gone. We've shared the photos. Now that we've got this part of our sharing up and running to inspire you and show you where and what you can do.
And also there at Kirkwood, we did find a random little camping spot that was a bit further away, where they let the pets roam free. That was right next to the river. That was gorgeous. It was like a little hidden gem where the animals were allowed to be.
Can you remember the name?
No, maar dis net Lamoene daar.
Yeah, it's a massive citrus area, citrus farming.
Yeah, it was actually this guy's like private farm, and he's just sectioned off a spot next to
the river,
next to the little river there,
and,
where he lets people camp.
And there was a jungle gym down the bottom.
Yeah,
and there was,
it's all set up. I'm just saying.
So he just did it in between like two massive fields of nachos and
there's
oranges.
a play area, there's ablutions, and you're right next to the river. I think you can even hire a little raft or something, a little boat or whatever. You can go on the river. It was lovely, but we were there for a short time because we were working the whole time.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this never again, because there isn't something specifically that I would say never again, because nothing.
Because she had a very good tour guide.
Yeah, but so.
Pay me more and I'll take you. She is self-sufficient now.
No, but the point is, the never again stuff is not stuff that happened on purpose. It was, say, like a car.
I know which one. How about when you fetched me from the hospital when I broke my leg?
So that's what I was about to mention. Like car troubles, and things not working and breaking, and you eventually having to hold shit together with cable ties and jam the gears into place to just get us home. Stuff like that is not on purpose. So you can't say never again, because you can't say that it won't happen again. It's just like, I would prefer it not to. But that wasn't planned. That wasn't something we had booked in our schedule that didn't work out.
Okay. But in it was a lot of testing patience, learning about your patience levels, your comfort zones, what you can and can't deal with, and then getting out of it with a like a high five story in the middle.
Yeah, but so to get back to that story and maybe give people some advice, is that someone in your team needs to be street smart and vehicle smart and MacGyver and know his knots and know his tools and know how to fix things.
Yes. Yes. That's it. Self-actualization. Maslow knows nothing, Jon Snow.
Because I think if you don't have that, you might have a slightly more challenging experience if you, say, hit some sort of bump in your vehicle or have any type of problem. If you don't know tools and cars and engines and cable ties and hammers.
though I can tell you from traveling with bigger and smaller groups and bikes and vehicles, also around the country, all provinces, and some neighboring countries, but in SA, anywhere you are, you can get reasonable assistance by phone call or good insurance.
True, but that's exactly my point. You'll have to phone
4
someone
to 8 hours
and
waiting.
sit there and wait for someone else to come assist you, whereas we had the blessing and the luxury that you kind of know what you're doing and will figure something out come hell or high water. Even if you have to MacGyver it, but you can make some sort of solution until we can get to a place where there's better help, like you can change the tire or whatever.
Thank you.
We never had to phone a friend. You were the friend that everyone phones.
Oh. She's also nice. She kind of livens the place up. What was that from? Free Solo. Do yourself a favor and watch the documentary Free Solo. Yes, Hebrew, but you must be ready to watch something. Are you going to be short of breath? Seriously, watch the documentary of a climbing thing the guy did. I see he's now the face of TradingView for the Bitcoiners. Go check what that oak did. Go see what that guy did. That's now the face. He's on the homepage of TradingView for the traders out there. That dude, that finished looking guy, go check what that can do, what he has done. Yes.
And at least someone in your teams need to know how and love to braai. Because
that's just make fire. You must be able to make fire, bro. Use a grill.
Because how else are you gonna enjoy food on the road so often if you don't even enjoy braai? I mean, come on, let's be serious. That's what we did most of the time.
But we also like braais. Again,
that's what I'm saying. You have to like imagine now someone doesn't like to braai and they go on the road.
No, they can do it. No, some guys do different ways of eating and feeding, different dietary requirements and things like that. You're 100% right, and it's all the fun, because to source now the wood and the fire, you got to go meet the locals now. To source now fresh meat, you got to go see the other locals, the butcher locals. Then you got to find a beer, you got to go see the bottle store. Then you got to go find out if there's a beach close. But you're traveling just to make braai, and then maybe if you're lucky, if you organise right, you gather everyone together for the braai.
But
But
I'm
don't
saying
gather
is,
the wrong people like.
But what
like,
I'm saying, like, what if someone doesn't like braai?
Oh,
If they don't like braai meat?
Yeah, okay, then you cook. And backpackers cook. Backpackers, there are really good backpackers around the country. You can also cook, but braai is better.
Yes, I'm just saying, then you have to cook all the time because you don't even like braai, and braai is so much more fun.
Then you make a sandwich. Your dietary requirements will fit into your adventure as is required. Don't worry about that. Just always have some preserved goodies with you and some dry goodies with you, and keep it safe from any pets that might be traveling with you, or heat.
And the gas kettle is a good investment.
Heat from the motor, or heat from the van, or heat from the sun can zap your food. Sorry?
Gas kettle is a good investment.
Yeah, of course. We should do it. We'll do a different video how to prep your vehicle and get moving, get going. I've shared some images about that, but we'll go through the importance. We'll show you our rig.
Okay.
Last one. One piece of golden advice to girls who want to do this, and one golden piece of advice to guys who want to do this. Should I leave?
Girls, if you are super into makeup.
Please look at them.
Okay, if you are super into makeup and having your nails perfect all the time and looking perfect all of the time and staying in 5-star luxury accommodation, you're not going to enjoy this. So either leave that all behind and like commit to an adventure, or don't even bother because you're just going to moan and make everyone's life miserable.
And then
that's a bit intense.
I want to say, and girls who can do it will know it. The beauty of this is, once you get into this, you realize that the people you're working with and who become your friends and who you interact with and who you vibe towards are people who are not worried about being offended by something like that. A girl who can do a makeup on the road can do a makeup on the road. A girl,
yeah, you can.
but you can't be.
No, you're not going to be able to straighten your hair for 2 hours. And you're not going to be able to stand in the garage station in front of the mirror and do your makeup for 2 hours.
It's not for you. It's not going to get easier. It's not going to work out. It's not going to be all aircon and sunshine. It's not going to be.
No. But and if you have to help hook the vehicle, what is daai wat ons hak die hele tyd tow?
Yeah, the tow bar.
Yeah, if you have to say assist with that. So like every time we get somewhere and leave, we have to hook and unhook the tow. Or whatever.
Or if we get stuck in the mud.
And you have to change vehicles or whatever. So the point is, you have to assist. You're part of the team. You can't be worried about your nails and now not want to help. Or if your red nail polish chips off because you had to help with the tow hitch or whatever. Like, you got to be in it. And you're not going to be able to maintain your perfect appearance. And that's the fun of it.
How many of you went to win it when she said in it? Anyone? Cool. Okay. And then golden advice to guys who want to get this going with their dolls or even by themselves, and that goes for girls on their own as well. I'm sensitive to this LGBTQ fairness PC shit because I was born in the 80s, so I got all the information. Then forced through the 90s and 2000s, got all these rules laid on me that weren't co-signed by me at birth. So now we're here, and I'm sensitive to this stuff because I follow it and I watch it. So does anyone, or most, or some. And I keep apologizing for things that are ridiculous. It's crazy, eh? But nonetheless, there is a good side and a bad side to everything. Golden advice to guys or girls. But now, guys, this is the guy section. We can do.
So don't you think you're better at giving that advice? No.
So
pick your team wisely. Maybe make sure you either watch a few YouTube videos or learn from a friend or a father or a grandfather how to have basic life skills and road skills and engine skills and cable tie skills.
You can learn anything on YouTube now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, either learn it from a trusted elder or YouTube, but don't go.
Or younger, because I'm younger than you and I taught you.
but you're not. You're not younger than me.
But I am. On whose calendar are you measuring age?
The point is, don't go unprepared. Just try and get your stuff in order and have some skills, because it'll go a long way and it'll save you a lot of frustration.
Or be willing to ask, learn, and be patient with yourself and others.
Yes, but my point is, you did that for years before you took me and the animals and often we went with my daughter as well.
And
So-
friends and their family.
Yeah, like don't make a whole bunch of people reliable on you if you haven't even figured out some of it yourself.
Sure, good advice, solid, yeah. But you can do it.
Like you at least knew what you were doing, and we could trust you. We knew we were in good hands.
Cool.
So other people that will constantly have to phone for help, it's going to be a little bit more frustrating, and you might not want to take responsibility for too many other people if you don't know a few basics. That's what I'm saying.
Test runs.
Test runs. Yes. Go camp for a weekend
Victory.
and just dip your toes in and figure
Try
out
do it,
some knots
try-
and tents and cable ties and tools and just know what you're doing a little bit. Know what you're getting into.
Get away from electricity for a while, even from electricity
And
and
see
gas.
how everybody handles that you are wanting to take with, because that's what you did with us.
Mm-hmm.
We went for a few garden route adventures and camps, and came back.
And
Just-
working.
Just
All the pressure.
yes, working. That's what we always go to work.
Tell
But-
them I'm coming now.
But I'm saying we didn't just immediately pack up everything and go. We first went a few times and dipped our toes in. And one of the first times we camped, you even threw me in the deep end and I had to sleep on the floor of the tent because you had conveniently forgot the mattresses and most of the blankets because you were testing me to see what I could handle. So like you have to just test everybody a little bit. I think that was brilliant to see how everyone handles and how they're going to cope. And
Yeah, but don't mess with your life partner now or your children too much. No, dude, children are fair game. They're tough, hardy, and can go for it. Lots of time to recover. But don't cause World War III. If you run into an obstacle, breathe, take a time out, talk again,
I'm just
figure it out. The hurdles are the opportunities for a laugh.
But I'm coming at from the angle that you always tell me a victory loves preparation. Like
Victory
just
loves preparation.
just
yeah.
prep a little bit, test everything, do a few test runs. Even that documentary we watched with the surfers that went on that sailboat, they first went for like a few test runs where other people were with them to help them weather the storm, figure out the mechanics. When something goes wrong, how do we fix it? They had someone help them a while before they said, okay, cool, thank you for everything you've taught us and how you've helped us. We're going to do this next stretch by ourselves and see if we can cope and do everything that we've been taught how to do. That's what I mean. Just
Okay.
prep and don't be dumb
that's really
about
good.
it.
That's really good advice. But if you have no choice, or if you're stuck for prep time, so you've got to get on the road soon because your decision is in front of you, and funding and decisions and opportunity, and maybe a rent behind or rent in front, whatever. If you have a willing and a patient partner, whatever that category of partner is, and you have patience and can humble yourself to learn and move around and meet and use your brain, where's safe and where's not safe, you can just get going and operate around. It's difficult to say the whole country. I'd rather than try stay within the I would say the garden route of SA, stay there where there's lots of friendly faces and tourists. So there's a lot of infrastructure rigged to help you in emergency or in need. And there's lots of opportunity and people and a lot of people doing this and that you would like to do, whichever the category of movement living is you want to choose. You can just get going and move carefully and be okay if your buffer is not that big that you've got 6 months to a year to prep and go on test runs and do all that vibe. You can just get going. I just got going. I had enough and I got the combi and I got moving and I figured it out as I went and blessed and graced and protected from above and grateful for that every day. But you can do it. And it's a lot of fun. Cool, that's our first, I think, does it count? I don't know if it's a podcast or a vlog. I think that's the same thing to me, isn't it? Cool. If you have any questions, cool. Let us know, write a comment if there's a comment section or message us. Otherwise, come say hi if you see us around and we will get into different categories of things to discuss, like vehicle prep, packing prep, the most important lessons we've learned from working and from traveling, staying safe and moving, economics, the best, the worst. We'll get into those things. Thank you. Cool. Thanks.